Now, anybody who recently, as a matter of fact, down in his honors office, right outside a ways, he's got a picture of the skyline of Chicago. I think it must have been about 10 years ago. And then when you see the skyline today, I think if I were the mayor, I wouldn't take that down, but right across from it, I'd have a great big picture of what it is today. That's the sign of resurgence. The importance of that new skyline, if you're going to compare it with anything, you've got to go back to the time of the pyramids. You see, that skyline, the actuality of it is not the important thing. It's the symbology of it, the symbol, and the symbol is resurgence. No, resurgence hadn't anything to do with pyramids appearing in the desert or fantastic skylines coming up out of nothing over Great Lakes. Resurgence exists in the deep spirit of human beings and their communities. It lies deep within the heartbeat of men and groups of men. And what's happened to that skyline is but an indices of the fact that in Chicago, however small it may be at this moment, a new spirit is breathing in the hearts of men, not just some men, but I believe all men. However, there's a strange thing about resurgence. It cannot happen unless it is both private and public, I believe. It cannot happen unless it is both local and inclusive. The city of Chicago, as pointed at with the skyline, is the inclusive dynamic. But I tell you, the next best thing the mayor of this great city has to point to resurgence, other than that skyline, is what's happened in a place like Fifth City. The skyline indicates the inclusive, Fifth City, the local, and where one is not, the other is a sham. The second important thing in resurgence, it must be both public and private. If the public domain of social existence does not resurge, then the hearts of men cannot resurge. It's like the skyline in Fifth City, or the equivalent of Fifth City, was necessary for the individual, private, if I may say, heart to begin to beat. But vice versa, save the hearts of men beat with a new feel after space and a new feel after time. The public is empty. The public domain of resurgence remains empty, remains a vacuum. God bless you for what you've done here. You take your shopping center, you take these buildings. It was both private monies and public monies that did it. It was both public effort and private effort that did it. Here they've met in a way that sometimes simply astounds me.